Hello Palia friends, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to show you my first big finished project that I did on my home plot, and it's basically mixing a restaurant with a museum. So those are the two parts I mixed together in this project, museum and restaurant. It has 10 rooms. And I won't spoiler too much about the inside, you will see for yourself, and I try to explain some of my thoughts and what I tried to do there while we go through all this. It might be a little bit long, and I'll try my best to be as accurate as I can with it, but please have a little bit mercy while enjoying the video, cause I'm no native English speaker, but I'll still give my best. So I hope you love it. So yeah, first of all, that's the entrance to the restaurant. You start off at the restaurant, there's table to the right and left, the kitchen area, and we are going for a small overview of the restaurant part. The left wing is basically the blue side, as you can see, and guess from the wallpaper already, the blue side is going to be the fish side, which also has the fish museum later on. In the middle we have a berry part. I thought it was kind of neutral as a go over between blue and red. And on the right side we have the red part, which basically has the bug museum in it. To like separate it even with like a few decorations, I used at the blue side that fishing plaque up there. In the middle we have the restaurant one. And on the right side you can see above the window the bug one. So that's basically the split. As for the rugs, I used a lot of bellflower ones, the big and the long ones, because they kind of look that if they fit in nicely. For the general lighting of the rooms in the restaurant, I used Homestead wall lamps, as well as Capital Chic chandeliers. And one standing lamp from the bellflower set, cause it kind of looked smoother with this standing here, cause you have that like left and right split, and I wanted to have a little feature when coming in that gives you like a block inside the middle where you need to choose which side you want to go to first, right? So that was what I had in mind when I placed this. I like to place very many details, as far as you can see. The whole restaurant area has many small pots all around it, pitchers, jugs, bottles, there's teacups. We have banners on the walls, lamps, frames, clocks, ladders, and even the portraits and some other small nice stuff. And we start out with like the tish table, I guess. I think we just start with table tish, cause there's a portrait, so we just call it like that. Small little frame behind the shelf that you cannot see when you move in, but when you sit on the table you can see it. It's kind of a birthday afternoon tea party table where you just chill, drink your tea, eat cakes or petit fives together. I really liked that kind of setup, and I tried to place a few different dishes like on every other table as well, so that every table gets kind of unique. The whole restaurant also has every dish except for the campfire ones. Just to tell you up front, you will be able to see like every dish at least placed once, so that gives the tables many different themes in the end. And yeah, when you come in, you have those shelves. Those shelves basically had the idea of blocking a little bit of the cold air maybe coming in, and you don't see the visitors that come in directly. So basically it's kind of protection for the people that sit on these front tables. On the other side of table tish we have the tish of Kenyatta, which has like I guess I just call it beer glasses, wooden beer glasses, I don't know, cause right at the moment of this video, I think the only things we have for really like drinking out of it with like a handle or where you can imagine it are those things from the Kilima Inn. and those teacups. I don't think there's anything else that really gives me the idea of being in a restaurant, cause you normally don't really drink out of bottles in a restaurant, right? So that wouldn't have worked either. So it's those two that you will find on basically every table in some cases in this restaurant. Then I thought about when you come in, you can wash your hands fast. So that's the kind of idea. So there's basically soaps, and in the other thing, you might have like towels that you can use to dry your hands after. Even the shelves have much pots placed inside of them. You see the dragon tide things, you see the banners, the lamps up on top makes the room very bright. To talk a little bit about more of the lamps at this point, I mean, you already see it's bright, right? But most lamps in Palia, right now at this point where I made this video, didn't give me like the feeling that they filled the room with like real light. So it was very hard to even find lamps that made it this shiny. And when we go outside, you can even see that how those lights are made. Basically, the whole house shines on the outside, right? It's very crazy how much light they give, but with how they are in here, it looks even at nighttime very, very nice in my eyes. Yeah, so let's go further into the kitchen area. As you can see here, we go into the mode fast. We have many jugs, we have pitchers here, we have casserole dishes, we have carafes, small pots. On the other side, we have a lot of different bottles that could like basically represent different kinds of drinks. So that was the general idea about this corner from the kitchen. On the right side, it's mostly like drinks, cause I tried to get as many bottles as possible. This industrial thing looked like a little bit like for maybe even cooling stuff, like a fridge where you have some drinks inside. And I tried to use the space as much as possible, so there's cooking pots on top of it. Then we have sinks around here that you can use to basically wash your dishes. I mean, the one in the middle is basically, I guess, for mass washing if you have like many customers and want to be very fast about it. And on the other sides you have the capital chic one, like it's pantry. I was kind of searching for the word, and even here you have bottles, but you have like other bottles. I tried to basically place here the horn bottles, cause the horn bottles kind of have that idea in my head that it's like lemonade or cola, you know, stuff like that. And then the small bottles basically present some kind of drinks as well. I colored them in all three different colors of the museum. So basically blue, red and berry. Cause those are the three colors I used in here. And I did that with the big bottles as well, which are over here. And here we have the large bottles from basically the Kilima in. So in my head that gave me enough to place in here for like me to think, yeah, the restaurant has a variation of drinks. That was what I had in mind at the end. That was what I thought when decorating it, and most of you probably already guessed, but even if the right side is red and the left side is blue, there's many symmetrical aspects. Like when you look here, you have like the lamps at the same place as the right side, but with the color it gives a nice touch so that one side doesn't look the same as the other one in my eyes. For the cooking thing, I thought that those things might contain like sauce you made for your dishes to suit them, or some kind of let me think like Spices, right? Spices. It's spices the word I'm searching for. Like, if you have, like, many different kind of spices in there. And stuff that you generally use while cooking, right? What you, like, need. Salt, pepper, and stuff like that. And sometimes even, like, with those, casserole dishes, you put them in like the oven with maybe potatoes inside and stuff like that. So you have a wide variety of stuff that you can find in the kitchen as far as the game basically gave it to me till this point. Cause it was very hard to think about how to place it, how to make it look full, how to make it look like it's lively even without people in here, and that's just how I ended up at this point, right? I hope that's good enough explained for the entry room. Now we go to the main museum room. I know you can already see the fishes from the blue corner and here the bugs in the red corner, but yeah, that's basically the main room. In the middle, that berry part, that is basically the pass point from blue to red. And I guess we start with like table Nio in the red zone. It has a few hot dogs on it and more spicy dishes with pepper. Not sure if that suits the character portrait, but since I wanted to place like different kinds of dishes in here and try to get all that we have to this point in here, it was sometimes even hard like to let them suit the characters. So in some kind of cases, it's just like whatever I thought is a table could be theme based, right? I used big frames in this room as well, so on both sides you have big frames. Some you could color, some can't be colored. Then we have like table Gina, which has mushroom soup on it. Cause Heckler always like tells, yeah, I want to make like mushroom soup for Gina, so I thought that would be kind of a fitting image for table Gina. On the other side we have table gel. I'm not sure if gel is like the big meat type with rice and onion soup, but in the end that table ended up like that because I had the stuff standing around and I just thought it might be like the common drinking table where you eat your steak and stuff like that in the evening, so that's that theme. In this corner we have table ref, and of course for ref I needed like common dishes where you think they would suit ref. Ref needed that vegetable soup in the middle of the thing. It has carrot soup, tomato soup, potato soup and all that stuff, and I just thought that's a must table, that most of the soups are basically on table ref. Then we have in the middle on the berry one another birthday afternoon tea party table with the big cake as well and many different nice sweet things to eat. I really liked to place here some couches. At first I thought about placing chairs here as well, but then I thought there's enough room to at least like put a little bit comfy couches in here like I did with like the entry side, so it doesn't block the walkways too much, cause in the end if you want to visit the fish museum you will take a left turn here and on the other side a right turn to the bug museum. So that was a nice little change I thought of. And in the front I used the chairs of course, because if I placed the couch here that would have felt very it wouldn't have it wouldn't have felt nice to walk through otherwise, so I needed chairs in the front. And the last table here is basically this one, and it's like, let's just call it the RAM table, right? Because I have RAM placed there. And you see the banner around the room, the clocks, all those frames, and I really love it. I can't even tell you how much I love this creation, even with the wallpapers, like the I guess I just call it Sakura wallpaper, cause it has those pink petals falling down with the nice river, and it's kind of animated, right? I just thought that would be the fitting image of the berry middle. The fish one with the fishes, of course, and like the forest for the bugs. So let's go to the right side first. In the middle rooms, between like the main restaurant room and the museums, I sort of placing a big table. And at the beginning I wasn't sure what to place there instead at those tables. If I make it like, try to make one tables in this room, but it didn't like fit, cause middle-sized rooms aren't that big that you could like make 2 different tables. So at the end it was a big one. I just call it the double table. Where the idea is you have a long evening with friends and you have much food in the middle and you just share it like all around the table. Whoever wants to have like this and that, and you just give it to him. That's the idea that I wanted to have at this table. So you see like many different rice dishes, vegetable soups, and even some meat stuff as the main dishes, and you just grab whatever you feel like eating together with your meat dish. Also in this room I have the portrait of Tamala and Hasian, because I just thought they are both like living in Bahari, and it seemed like they would fit well together in here. On the other side of the double table we have a fireplace with just 2 chairs basically, where you can like have a nice drink in the winter, or after you saw half of the museum and you want to take a break. So that's the idea behind this. And of course we have much decoration around here as well. And now we just walk inside the first museum. This museum half basically contains 80 bugs. So there's 39 bugs overall in the game right now, so every bug at least 2 times. And cause I had spare space at the entrance when I decorated, I decided to go for 4-star rainbow butterflies, since it's one of the rarest bugs in here. And it just looks very, very beautiful with its wings. So those are the ones on top. For the furniture, of course, at the ground we use the long and big bellflower rugs. We use those dragon-tide orchids, bellflower armchairs, bellflower dressers, bellflower vent shelves, and I think that's all about it, what we used. Dining tables, of course, from the bellflower standing lamps in the middle, and ravenwood folding screens. So that's all kind of furniture we used. Might sound pretty expensive. I found most of it before the flow growths came out. And at the top, so that the bugs are shiny, and as basically the middle extraction, I use those ravenwood lamps you see on top. I think they fit in very nicely, cause they highlight certain spaces. Of course you see I needed many of those. The fish side will have many of those as well, but it's the only way to highlight like the bugs real good and make them shiny and the room bright as well. So I guess with all this talk we just go like make a round through the whole museum. We start off here with the rainbow, the crabs, the flies, snails, the fairy mantis up on top. Then we have more butterflies up here and moths, and even the elder from Bahari. We have a nice little fireplace here where you can sit. That's another problem of the space, you can turn the lamps on off, so that sometimes blocks sitting. But you have so many armchairs in here that you can sit down wherever you want and watch in a warm, comfy place at your favorite box. With these kind of bugs right here on this dining table, the main problem was that if you switch them around, they had those stones to the right blocking them, so that's why those all face to one side. Cause otherwise you can't see them that well. And another point I wanted is like the visibility of the bugs that you want to look at should be as high as possible, which was sometimes very hard with how these things were built up, right? sometimes you have greenery in it, you have a stone in the way, and then the bug isn't highlighted anymore, and that made it very hard at some points. So since we already know that the left side is just the same bugs as the right side, on the way back we go through the middle. You have the mantis from Dragon Shrines, you have the violet grasshoppers. You have your shiny friends on Knights in Bahari that light you the way. In the middle I placed another T section cause I had spare place. I just thought it would be a nice little bonus like in the middle of the room to make it look more nicely and give it some more sitting options. Here I placed like the doubled part right on the other side, cause it's like two tables opposite of each other, and at the start we had those, the beetles and stuff. And I don't even know what to say at this point, like, I think I did a beautiful job. I know you shouldn't say that for yourself, but a project only feels very fulfilling when you stand in it at the end, right? And you think, yeah, I did my best, I worked hard to do this, I used like everything I could at this point in time, and even though it was much farming and gathering, the result really tells you on the inside that it just turned out great and you want to show it off, right? Like, you are proud of your own project, and I think that's a very, very big point at the end of the day, that I myself like it, but of course I hope as well that the people watching this video will enjoy it as well. So towards the fish museum we also have that fireplace corner with two chairs, and on the other side I decided to go with a portrait of Aina and Hodari, and it's the fish-themed table. It basically has all kinds of fish-based dishes on it. The bass, the trout, fish tacos, sushi, there's oysters on it, there's fish soup, I think, on it, and that's basically the fish-themed table, and I thought, of course, in front of the fish museum you could place that. I know the poor fishes look at them being cooked. Sorry, fishes, but I think it turned out as a nice little theme for that table, that dining table. So now we are in the fish museum. Of course, fish tanks take way more space, and there's 162 fishes in here, every fish 2 times that's in the game at this point in time. So I did the same as in the bug room, but I didn't need any fish like a third and a fourth time like I needed the butterfly 4 times, cause the space barely fit in here. Like, the goldfish at the end was like the last 2 I needed to place, and I just put them on the wall that way. But most of them are like the dressers, the dining tables, and even the nightstands. I used the nightstands in here for the small fishes. And I guess we'll make a round like with the other museum. We'll look at one side and then go back like through the middle, right? I tried to mix the fishes in here as well. Like, this here is mostly perches and stuff like that, and bass, as it seems. And kind of like fishes that look like, are they kind of the same type, I guess. That's how I can describe it. Sorry, I'm not that good with describing it. And here we have like carps, as you can see. They look towards the window from both sides. That's one of the symmetrical aspects I wanted. Then we have, that should be like trouts that we have here, right? Yeah, trouts. Just checking to be sure. This should be the koi corner, and we have like big fishes from Bahari, the tuna up on top. And some small little ones. Then we have the eel area coming up. This should be salmon. Yeah, it is. So, yeah. The unicorn fish up on top. This one is a sturgeon, the ancient fish, the midnight paddlefish, the piranha, and then we come towards some of my favorite fishes. Oh, actually, this isn't the unicorn fish, that's the blue marlin. I'm sorry, blue marlin. And this is the unicorn fish, but don't mind. Mistakes like this happens. Up here we have the unicorn, and that's the swordfish. And then we have the eels. The eels are basically one of my favorite kind of fishes in Palia that you can catch. I really like how most of them are shiny, like the storm ray for example. And that's why they are at the end, close to the fireplace. And in the middle one we have all the epic ones. Also one of my favorites is the void ray, but I mean even the Kilima stingray and the flame tongue look very, very beautiful, right? Such beautiful rays. So yeah, as I told you, I'm a big ray fan. So now we go back. I guess there's like more sturgeon-like fishes here. Like pike, gear, alligator. What's this one? That's a sturgeon. And this one over here is a barracuda. Like long fishes that like kind of fit in with those. In the middle I tried to place those. I think they are called blobfishes. Blobfishes. Cause there's just the two of them from the cave in Bahari, and it's the same as in the middle of the Bug Museum. Basically left and right table, and that's a symmetrical aspect. Here we come back to the eel part, cause there's a few eels on the in the game right now, so I placed some on the outside and some on the inside. I tried to put the, I guess, more boring looking ones that you kind of tend to oversee because of their color in the outside, and stuff like the indigo inside the middle and the green one. So that's how I wanted to make sure that people that go inside like even look at those fishes like on the sides, cause they are more visibly open placed, right? And then we go like towards the front. And there's loaches here and catfishes. And even some more carps. And I thought like they all had that feature where they have like I guess long beard hair growing out. Not sure how it's called in English. I'm sorry about that. But that's basically my idea of it. So they kind of look to me the same. I know for someone with like fish expertise, this might be like a horrible description of fishes, yeah. But that's just what I thought when I decorated this whole museum. And we start to have the small ones in the middle. On nightstands. That's all kinds of different fishes, like the shimmer fin you see down below, and even the basic one that you can probably catch as your first fish ever, which is the gillyfin. That's basically the first fish most of you probably ever caught in Palia. And the nightstands really did a good job. I could have even placed, I think, like 2 more fishes up here that have like that size. But there aren't that many small fishes in the game, so I thought those are the ones I highlighted and where I just choose to go for 6. And when we get like further towards the entrance now, those are the ones where I decided to go with like 8. It was also a hard choice which to place up and down, to be honest. I spent hours like deciding which fish goes where, which fish goes on top of each other. I tried thinking about how I can compare the fishes together, like with eels and rays at the end. It was of course very easy to fit them together into a category, but for some fishes I just needed to search for features. Sometimes it's like the size of their tanks, the size of the fish, if they have certain characteristics that might combine them together, right? And all those things in the end ended up deciding like how my museum ended up right now. Some were even like just used as, I think you can say, place fillers. Cause the medium tanks had much decisions to be made between which areas to place them, cause of course between like the ray and eel areas there's some middle-sized fishes and the salmons are further down. But I think it turned out nicely. I really like running around here. I like sitting in this room. The light is sadly a little bit bugged. I mean, you see the shadows sometimes coming in, and I guess that's just like a bug part of lightning. But as you can see, every fish is normally highlighted when you get like at least get close to them, right? And that's like the most important part in my eyes. And I really love it. Like we can get like another overview from this corner. It was much work. And I don't even want to think about how much farming and gold this whole project cost me. Cause there's tons of bellflower in here. There's tons of bellflower, ravenwood, and in here the restaurant is mostly capital chic. And it was a big project that's basically now at its end, and I don't think I will work on it again. I think I leave that as it is. That's just like my first big project ever, and if later on I feel like doing a new museum, a bigger museum, cause we got more fishes and stuff, I might go ahead and fish all the fishes in here again, catch all the bugs, and make it a whole museum plot where I have like two 15-room museums, one side bugs, one side fishes or something like that. But for now, this project, combine a restaurant with a museum, is basically finished. And I hope you enjoyed the video till this point, and if you want to like visit this place, you can. I don't mind you adding me in the game if you know what my in-game nick is. I mean, it's obvious, okay? My nickname is just Daniel Jung. It's on the top left corner. So feel free to add me and send me a message that you want to see it for yourself. So yeah. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I think it was a very long video. That's my first big project. Like I said, I don't know what's inside. Maybe I'll make another video of how much I used inside and where I run through it faster. But for now, that's just going to be it. And if you have like similar museums or your own ideas, or maybe I could even inspire you with some ideas that I used, yeah, I'm very glad if I could do that. And everyone is different when it comes to decoration. Like everyone thinks different, has different ideas about it. So I just hope that no people feel bad about it, cause I also had friends come over that told me like, yeah, but oh, that's so damn expensive, and oh, my museum might not look as good as yours. And that's one thing that I want to tell at the end. Just don't be sad if your museum isn't that spectacular, I say. Cause the thing is, you need to like it, right? I mean, I like my museum very much, and I put a lot of work in it to like it, and I had all those ideas that I wanted to fulfill in it. But on the other hand, you can have all your own ideas, and it doesn't even need to be every fish 2 times. It's enough to have every fish once, every bug once, or you can even place them all over your house, right? So just saying, don't feel discouraged when you see it. Just enjoy it and see it like a big project that someone else made to realize the plans they had in your head, right? So thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day and a nice Christmas, since Christmas is getting closer right now. And yeah, see you around another video. Bye bye!